Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, and thank you for your presentation. Just a very quick question there. I just note in your presentation you're saying about the investment that we've seen in the country since the Good Friday Agreement and the relative peace. But you're saying even if not yet delivering on its full potential, so you obviously see that there's more potential there. And I'm just wondering what the government here could do to expand on that potential. And would you have seen a huge increase in investment from, say, the US or other global entities since Brexit, more so, in the north, say, and in the border region in particular? And is there something there that could attract more into it as well? And I come from a border region, I come from Cavan, and I just think Cavan and Fermanagh has so much more in common, say, maybe than Cavan and other counties around it, to do with even tourism and the lakes and so on. And I just think there's so much more could be expanded. And I would agree with what Niall hit on there as well. It affects a lot of people who live in my constituency and work in the north, and vice versa, about travelling if they're non-EU citizens. It's having a drastic effect. Thank you.
Thanks, Deputy Chair. I can lead out. So I suppose our observation there is that for the economy of Ireland, the investment levels have been spectacular. And, if you look at any metric, on GDP, and you could argue, well, that's the best metric enough for what's happening in the economy. But if we look at physical investment that's been happening in industries, we've never had a period like the last decade, actually. It's been an absolute golden era in terms of the scale of investment coming in. And it wouldn't be uncommon for us to be working with a business that is looking at multi-billion euro or dollar scale of investment in a single site. So the investment has been happening at at a level of sophistication and a level of scale that we haven't seen before, and that has been evolving even over that 2.5 decades. Our observation is probably that Northern Ireland has not benefited to the same degree as the economy of Ireland has. And I suppose if you take that forward, how do we address that? And I suppose I probably touched on this a couple of times in my remarks, that businesses, they're now looking at those drivers of investment in a very, very different way. Tax is nowhere near as significant as it would have been in the past. Tradition of large urban centres are not as significant. It's all about the availability of labour. And, it looks like, again, that, look, we're constantly obviously in global business cycles, but very much it looks like this fear of downturn is not going to be as significant as it is. And the number one issue for our members in terms of expansion and growth now is talent availability. And we know that housing constraint is going to be such a significant factor within that. So I think any region, whatever the coherence of the catchment, and particularly, if we can get a coherence on a cross-border level that can present itself as a talent opportunity, I think they're the regions that are going to prosper. So again, it goes back to your skills strategies, goes back to regional skills strategies, and maybe regional skills strategies on a cross-border basis, talent strategies on a cross-border basis. But it's a demonstration that talent is going to be available for the companies that want to, either indigenous or international, that want to grow in any particular region. And I think that's where we'd see the main opportunity. But our earlier comments were very much a reflection that probably that investment dividend has not been equally shared right across the island, because there's no question that the scale of prosperity we've seen in Ireland has far outweighed the prosperity benefit, albeit very real and tangible, that has been experienced in Northern Ireland.